We wanted to skydive.
But we didn't want to do it with another man strapped to our backs.
So we did a course at the Rustenburg Skydiving Club that would allow us to do a static line jump later that afternoon.
There were hours of lectures, but when your life depends on it, you tend to listen pretty carefully.
And arch, same position, and the legs.
Watch 1,000, 2,000, 3,000!
Good, toggles. 1, 2,
Done, handle, right, left, arch.
stick in, go!
Our training complete. It was time to do what we'd come to do. Jump out of the plane at 3,000 feet.
I'm a bit nervous, dude.
I'm very nervous. My heart's sitting in my throat, actually.
Man, I'm dying inside. Yeah. My heart is beating like drums, you know?
Mine as well, boys.
It's been...
Let's go for it.
Let's go, boys. Go, boys.
Yeah, I'm doing everything right, baby. Everything right. Yeah, yeah, I am the king. Take it, landing, man. Yeah, yeah. Damn, that's the best feeling in the world. Main thing is I'm alive.
Wow.
How awesome is this, dude? How awesome, dude? Hey?
Oh, man. That is just...
I landed on my feet, dude.
I'm glad I landed. That is amazing, guys. Oh, my word. That's just amazing.
Hey, John,
But the first few seconds, I was like, what? Where am I? I don't know what's
we're
happening.
spinning, bro.
Exactly.
Hey, was it tangled?
as well.
Was it untangled?
Untangled. I'm like, where am I, Mom? I have no idea where I am.
Is Chrissy doing it?
Wow. That is just such a meaning, bud. Oh.
Well, we're in the center of Rome, traveling on our Vespas with our awfully geeky helmets. People are looking at us strangely, these funny damn things, but anyway. It's Chrissy's first time on a Vespa. It's Chrissy's first time on a
bike as
motorbike.
well.
Whatever you do, don't tell the Oculantas these that it's your first time.
Yeah.
Okay. Colosseum, baby.
Oh, how beautiful is that, eh?
But just to think, I mean, what it must have looked like in its heyday, but
It must have been amazing. That sound coming, the guys fighting, the roar.
that's why everybody just, when they came here, they surrendered. I don't have another word for it. Too cool, man. That's what it is. It's just too damn cool.
In the old Wild West, a horse was pretty much the only means of transport a man had at his disposal. In Oudtshoorn of Wolde, however, a man could proudly ride a different kind of beast.
Lean back, lean back, lean back.
Ah, you swine.
Ready. Wait. Come on. Yeah, that's why. Look at that. No one almost us.
That's one thing about guys. I mean, as we grow, our toys get more expensive and bigger.
Absolutely. Well,
No.
what do they say? They say, "He who dies with the most toys wins."
Wins.
I like
Definitely.
that. But how do you find it, big guy? It's your
amazing.
first time on the water on a jet ski. How do you find that,
It's amazing, bro. One word to describe this, stupendous. It was stupendous for me.
Listen, man, that's such a big word.
Stupendous.
Good stuff, man.
Awesome, man.
I'm big enough to admit that I drove in one gear the whole time because I didn't know how to change them. But at least I didn't do this.
This is the biggest stress reliever. You can ask any attorney or any advocate that trains here. When they've had a rough day in court, they phone up my ladies and they want to get a lesson here in the night, so they go home completely stress-free.
What do you think makes you so good? One of the best trainers in South Africa. What do you possess that makes you so good?
I love the sport, number one. I love what I do. So getting up in the morning is very easy for me. I'm in a position that I can give my fighters the right ammunition they need and the right weapons they're going to need to go to war, because that's what we do. We go to war when we get in that ring. I've always said in my field, it's not for ballerinas. Huh?
But now, as a guy walks through the door and you see him and he wants to become a boxer, how do you know? Do you see something in him that he should be a world champion, or is it further down the line that you see he's got the skills to become a world champion?
Well, first of all, any fighter that wants to join my establishment must have had an amateur career. I normally give a guy who has been an amateur that's joined up with my stable a trial period of about 3 to 4 weeks. You know, that's 3 to 4 weeks you can see whether the guy can fight or not.
What kind of things do you look for in a...
Well, obviously natural talent that the guy hasn't got 2 left hands. He's got to have heart, because to be in this business, this is a hurt business, and you've got to be able to take a punch. You know, there's an old saying, if you don't want to win, you're not going to win. You know, and if you fear losing, you're going to lose. I treat all my fighters equally, whether they're champions or 4-round fighters. They're all the same to me, but they're all basically my family, you know, and when I go to the ring, I go to the ring with a fighter and I look at him like he's my own kid. If he's getting hurt, I must be there to protect him. Boxing's just in my blood. Maybe that's why I was born on Boxing Day, the 26th of December.
So I decided to find out if boxing was in my blood and asked Nick to take me through some basics.
There.
Done.
1, 2, 3, 4. When you jump on top of your guy, you bring your whole body into me. All I have to do is, when you're jumping into me, is go like this.
And I'm gone.
And you're gone. Look where you punch, jab, and there. Muscles don't make fighters.
Yeah, I can feel it.
Cool. This is basically for timing and eye and fist coordination. There's everything in a boxing gym is an opponent.
Yeah.
And that's how you've got to look at it. Work it.
Is there technique or timing you need to do, or just...
Technique. Hit the ball. That's it.
That's it, simple.
After the jab. One right.
This is freaking not that easy, guys. How do you get through and just see this thing?
See, have a look at your presenter here. All curved up, chipped up, nice muscles, nice pecs, all
And
that.
getting killed with the ball.
When I see this in the ring, I know what this looks like.
I'm going to show you my killer leg workout. Okay, let's start with lunges, please. Grab the dumbbells. Perfect, excellent. And we're going to take one wide step, okay? We're going to go down into a lunge. Let's make sure that the knee doesn't go over the toe.
Okay, perfect.
Okay? And then perfect. And we're going to flow straight into the next one.
Next one.
That's perfect. This is a good dynamic stretch and warm up for the quads.
Yes, I can feel it.
Fantastic.
It works.
Morale, we're going to start with a step up, please. Okay, just a very basic step up with no weights. And we're going to superset that with shoulders, please. Okay, I'll talk you through it. And let's go, man. That's it, perfect. Foot more on for me, please. Try and push through the heel. Make sure that the knee doesn't go over the toe. And we're going to do about 20 reps on each side. Perfect. That's the right idea. We're going to bent over rows. Okay.
Right,
We're going to
yeah.
work the larger part of the lats. Okay. Let's get the weight off for us.
Great, let's
You've
go.
got your wraps on. Your
Yeah.
hands are getting tired now. Okay. Bend forward for me, keeping the back straight.
And to the...
And there you go. Okay. More into the hip area for me. There you go. A little bit faster. There you go. Keep the back nice and straight. Fantastic. Keep it going. And work it. And keep it going. And 10 more. Let's go. And 1. And 2. And 3. Come on. Big back. Let's go. And 2 more. 1 more. And rest. Well done. And weight back. Nice and safe. All right, Janae, please sit on the ball for me. Feet nice and wide for me. That's it. And the reason why your feet nice and wide is to stabilize you. Okay. And we're just going to glide down onto the ball. Okay, there you go. Nice and easy. Hands interlocked behind the head, please. Okay. And we're just going to do a sit up to here. Okay. And up you come. And all the way back down again. Perfect. And keep it going. That's perfect. And you're doing a sit up on the ball. That's it. Keep it going. That's it. Okay. Now we're going to do a smaller range of motion, and we're just going to come to there, and we just want to crunch the top of the abdominals on. Okay, and up you come. There you go. Perfect. There you go. Excellent. And that's isolating more of the upper abs. Okay, so we're going to work on the peak of the bicep now. Okay, we're going to do a concentration call. Okay. Let's use the bench to support the back. Okay,
Nice.
and straight up into a concentration call and down. That's it. No swinging. Nice and concentrated. A full contraction for a peak at the top. That's it. Perfect.
Okay, cool.
Excellent. There you go, man.
Check these guns, baby.
That's it, man. Excellent, man. Can you feel it working?
Yeah, very much.
Is it burning, man? Okay. If it's burning, then we'll do 10 more. Now 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, 8. Well done.
This is Nkabute Mac Manson-Yabi, a rising star in the boxing world and a South African junior featherweight boxing champ. His record is 16 fights, 15 wins, and all 15 wins by knockout. How did you get into boxing?
I was born in Tanzania, Mecca of boxing, Eastern Cape. So if you're not playing boxing, you're nothing.
Well, if you recall, I didn't do too well with my training with Nick, but definitely wasn't going to stop me getting into the ring.
How do you feel?
I thought I was fit.
Another world.
I can't feel my finger legs. Now that's the workout, guys. I'm a fit boy, but Mac, man, yeah, it took me 2 rounds and I'm shattered.
Fencing caught my attention during the Beijing Olympics, so we took a trip to the University of Pretoria to check out this little-known sport.
Fencing started in the Egyptian Empire about 3000 before Christ. They taught the Egyptian soldiers to fence. Fencing was a basic part of military training up to the Second World War. The last cavalry charge with a saber and horses was done in the Second World War when the Polish army stormed the German Tiger tanks with horses and sabers.
On a Ducati in Tuscany, Italy, man. It doesn't get better than this, baby. It really doesn't. We just don't have these kind of roads, these windy, twisty things. All I've ever really done back in Joburg is floor it straight out in a straight line. Your biking skills don't get any better on a straight road. But on this, unreal, man. Unreal. I'm having to concentrate quite a bit. And then of course you've got this wonderful scenery, so it isn't that easy to concentrate. spend your life working, you need to do these things, man. You need to spend your money on things like this. These are the things you remember forever, man. Woo!
Ian Billing's day job is flying 737s. For fun, he flies an extra 300 aerobatic aeroplane with his aerobatics partner, Brad Bennett. I'm curious to find out what it feels like to do what he does.
We're going to go sideways.
Okay, now we're going to go sideways.
Right, so I'm about to take one of the biggest jumps in the country. I've never jumped before, but I'm with Richard van der Westhuizen, and he's giving me all the tips. Richard, some last minute advice for me.
The last bit of advice I'd give you, and the most important, is once again not to chop the throttle on the takeoff.
Okay, just smooth.
You want to give a nice, steady, smooth throttle on the takeoff, and that'll centralize your bike quite nicely over the jump.
Is that it?
Good luck.
A lot of people say men are useless in the kitchen, but I'm going to prove them wrong and bake my favorite lucky muffins. Why lucky muffins? It's because every time I make them, my girlfriend gets happy and I get lucky.
Look at the duck breast there. See how that's coming nice and brown. You can see how much fat came out of the skin inside there, so that's why there's no necessity to put any oil with the dish.
I put first the big one. I'm gonna take out the mold of the plantain.
And then just stirring straight away. This should take you maybe a minute or two. Obviously it's scrambled eggs, so you just want to keep it stirred and off the pan. Don't overcook your eggs, otherwise you take all the moisture out of the egg and then it's a little bit hard to swallow. So this is about the right texture. Just leave them a little bit wet.
Whisk it. I'm whisking it.
I'm going to mess.
Ah, okay.
Because I look at home, I don't mess.
Yeah, but you can't mess with lentils. They don't splash. That's not whisk, young man.
That's not whisk.
No.
Okay, I'll keep on whisking. Good little work up to my shoulders.
Figure of 8.
Figure of whisk. How do you figure of 8? I'm thinking little circles.
Alright, come on.
Okay, let's watch this.
Figure of 8.
Okay, and that's why you're a chef, and I'm not.
Exactly.
Good old dash of olive oil, balsamic, the rosemary, and voila, you've got your risotto.
Okay.
It's come out quite nicely.
Really, really nice, really nice.
So put in whatever you want. I'm gonna go with a bit of salmon, some spring onions,
Nice.
some asparagus, and
I'll
then
do
you're just
that.
gonna break an egg over the top of it.
I'll do the Parma ham one, so.
Yeah, go for it, whatever cooks your goose, you know. 1 or 2 eggs, depending on what you want, and then
Okay.
into a potjie pot that's got about that much
That much
water
water,
in it.
okay, yeah.
Obviously boiling water. And just tap it like that so the egg goes all the way down.
Okay, I think I might have missed that part.
You're slowing me down now.
Sorry, bud. Let me just do the little tap. There we go.
Okay.
Okay, we're in.
Our museum is not only looking back. We always try to throw a line between the history and the present, and in some areas also to the future. When you go in our changing exhibition, you see some ideas how perhaps BMW will look like in 10 or 20 years. So we give a view to the future.
Future as well.
This is the Gina Light. That is something really very special. They took the platform of a Z8.
Yeah.
On top of that, they put a skeleton of carbon fiber beams,
Okay.
and that was covered with this very stretchable material. So what we see here is really drivable, but it's not really meant to be a future version of a car, or even more than a future version of a car. Nobody knows. Maybe in 10 years this will be normal on the streets. Maybe this will never be built.
That's a different world.
Totally, yeah.
In this world, there are supercars and there is the Pagani Zonda. It looks like nothing else, and in every detail there is nothing else like it. The South African flag was flying over the factory in honor of our visit, an example of the passionate attention to detail and pride in craftsmanship that permeates the Pagani brand. The small expert team at Pagani Motors make only 18 cars a year, or just 1.5 a month. Each car is built completely by hand, and every last detail is overseen by Zonda's creator, a man who, in my opinion, is a Leonardo da Vinci of our time, Mr. Horatio Pagani. I'm with the Pagani Zonda test driver, Simona. How many years have you been with Pagani?
8 years.
8 years?
Yes.
And test driving cars?
2 years.
2 years. Fantastic job you've got.
Yes. Very fantastic.
The car we're in is a Zonda F, one of just 25 in existence. It's unbelievable to be inside this car. I can't even explain it to you. I mean, the carbon fiber, you feel like you're in a racing car, but there's just so much going on. And you can feel that engine. It's a 7.3 litre V12 AMG engine as it whistles in the background. You go a little bit.
No problem. We have a lifting system.
Okay, so as you go over a speed bump, you press a button and it lifts up and then down. The attention to detail. That's incredible. At €1 million car price. So in South Africa it'd be like €2 million. A wonderful tax system. As Chris would go, yo, 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 yo. No, it's something else, something else. That is acceleration. It's like furious acceleration. So of course I wanted to feel it again. Get up there. Yeah. Okay. It's like this car as well. Once we really got going, sitting in the cockpit felt like being blown around in a paper cup by an angry giant. Although the car clings to the road like Spider-Man on a moving bus. Owning one of these cars is not so much about status and showing off. It's more like buying a rare and unique piece of art by a brilliant artist, because you are absolutely awestruck by its brilliance. We talk about dream cars. The whole experience of driving in a Zonda is exactly like a dream. Difficult to describe and completely unreal. I can't tell you, unbelievable. If I can tell you that this man is a test driver of note. Straight lines, corners, it doesn't matter. Just a little bit of steering wheel this direction, a little bit in that direction. Unbelievable, man, unbelievable. I've got air sick in his car. Air sick in his car. Stefano, thank you, man.
Bye.
Thank you so much. Fantastic.
My Martin, can you quickly tell us about the design of this amazing building?
The building is very strong. It's a very heavy building. It weighs more than 100,000 tons. It's built like a human RNA, because Mercedes-Benz is the founder of mobility, of individualized mobility, and that's what we want to say with that building.
If someone had to tell me that 3 wheels was more fun than 2 or 4, I would have said they were nuts. But then came the Can-Am. If I can tell you that I've never actually enjoyed myself more than I have in the last probably half an hour on this bike. It is quite an eye-catcher, so you do look at it, but then you start thinking, does it make any sense? And then you drive it, or ride it. Taking corners, it's a little bit different to a bike where you're leaning into the corner. This is more of a quad type of feeling on a bike. Going into a corner, you're still kind of low, but it gives you that freedom of a bike, but the stability of a car. So you drive it, you're riding along, everything's cool, everything's comfortable. Take your hand off, hit a pothole, you're still alive at the end of it.
This car that I'm driving now, it's a conversion of the A1 Mercedes-Benz. If I were to drive this car in the streets of Joburg and Soweto, I'll definitely cause accidents because nobody will concentrate on the road. They will just look at this car. It's a 2-seater car now. When I'm driving with my girlfriend in the morning, cruising, I just make it a 2-seater. In the evening, afternoon, when I'm driving with my friends, going out, I will make it a 4-seater. Just extend it, make it a 4-seater. If you think science fiction doesn't exist, definitely, my man, I'm driving this car right now. This is not science fiction, it's real.
I'm in Florence, Italy at a store called Luisa Via Roma, where all the top brands are kept and the likes of Julia Roberts shop. Let's go and have a look. No, this is very, very, very cool. I'm feeling very hot in this, man. Super hot, man.
Yeah.
Very nice. This is more like it, you know? Fits the ass better. Yeah. This is very cool. Very, very nice.
Winter style, no?
Winter style. This is super hot, baby. Hey, the Matrix. No, I'm impressed with this. Very, very nice. Huh? Very, very nice. It's pretty. It's not a winter in Joburg anymore. Da Vinci shoes. This is for a shirt. My Dior jacket. No, really, this is too hot. Unbelievable things here. A little pricey, but really, really unbelievable.
I chose to study chiropractic, which was great, but I studied for 6 years, so 2 years of community service, and then decided, I'm not sure if this is for me. But in the meantime, I was doing modeling, a lot of modeling and acting. During my studies, I was in Backstage and Generations, and I think the bug just hit. Then 2 years ago, I decided to open my own agency called Ilushi Management, and it's been wonderful ever since. It's just something I enjoy so much. I really do enjoy being behind the scenes more than actually in front of the camera all the time. When you are modeling and you're in front of that camera, you have to almost bring out a different persona. I mean, I've always been a kind of friendly, outgoing person, and yet it can be intimidated when you're standing in a room full of people in your knickers. It is. It was an excellent shoot. I had a beautiful black backdrop. I love the fan going, so you get to bring your sexy on. You know, I'm often asked about my stomach and how I have some definition in my stomach. And what I learned from my chiropractic days, the main thing is posture. Because obviously your abdominal muscles are the core stabilizers of your body. So if you're sitting upright the entire day, there's obviously tension within that muscle the whole day because they're actually stabilizers. They're not one of those crunching muscles. So men, tip out there, if you sit up straight, you will have a six-pack. My number one grooming tip to men would be to actually groom themselves, you know, invest in a good skincare product. Unlike women, you don't have a beautiful skincare makeup range to look after you, to cover up all the flaws. So invest in a good skincare product and regime and, yeah, look after yourself.
I think that went very well.
You think so?
For sure, bud. It was all pretty smooth.
Well, it's the first step in our master plan to create the biggest TV show
in the world.